Hi everyone! I have not spoken to you in quite some time. A lot has happened in the past few weeks. Spiritually, emotionally, politically, physically, lots of things have changed. So I'm coming to you from maybe a bit more of a dejected point than I would like to be. But I have some lovely yarns and some projects that I have been working on. I haven't been doing much knitting or crocheting simply because my new job has really taken a lot out of me, and had a lot of other things going on in my life too. So here's Bo. I'll probably be here for most of the time. Let's see. Let's just catch up from the last 4 weeks. I don't even know how long it's been. The election happened, and that's definitely a point of contention, a point of frustration. There's a lot of fear that I carry now, not just for myself, but for a lot of people that are in the United States specifically, and also for a lot of people in the world too, how this will play out and just how the new cabinet is being set up. I think that there's a lot of moments for fear. But I think it's been interesting too, all the conversations that I've had with people. Maybe he'll finally figure out what he wants to do. He just wants to be right on my lap. It's been interesting, all the conversations that I've been having with a bunch of people. Almost like this one divisive force that's been elected as probably, I'm not going to say the highest, because I feel like there's all those checks and balances for a reason, but at a very special place in the United States, and being so divisive and being, I guess really just divisive is the only word that I have right now, that there's a real chance for all of us others to come together and figure out a way of making the world still safe, making the United States still safe and welcoming for all of us. Because I feel like I've already lived in fear for so long, and it was more of just maybe I'll get called out, maybe someone will throw some kind of hate speech at me, maybe something will happen to me. But now I'm more worried about it actually happening. And maybe I'm in a very privileged place, and I probably am, where I work in environments that I really am not that concerned, and I really place myself in a lot of environments too that I'm not that concerned either. So I'm looking at you all out there that are in places where your job, your life, your housing, your whatever is in peril. And I want to figure out a way to stand for myself and for you as well. So I feel like I need to say that as a person who is publicly putting myself out there onto the internet. I need to say how I'm feeling right now before I get into what little I have accomplished when it concerns yarn in the last few weeks. My job at my new job working with the AmeriCorps program has been really great. It's another one of those environments that I feel pretty safe at, and I work in the Office of Community Engagement at the Maryland Institute College of Art, so I'm able to work alongside a lot of those people too that are going to be those front runners in any kind of social movement that's going to be happening now or in the next 4 years, in the next 20 years, like whatever it winds up being, next forever. So that's been really nice to see a lot of hope. And I think that's the other thing too, is that my other job at the Grief Center, I've actually found a lot of people showcasing their resilience, especially because a lot of them are Baltimore natives, and there's just been a lot that's happened in this city, and people they don't necessarily show the fear. Maybe it's because they've already been through it before, or this is just like another instantiation of all of that being thrown back at them again. So it's been really interesting and good for me to see that kind of resilience happening around me, because then I can also feel hopeful and resilient too. But yeah, so my job is going pretty well. It's a part-time thing. I don't know if I fully ever explained it in the last episode that I posted. If you see cat hair, it's like flying everywhere right now. I work for this AmeriCorps program. It's a part-time thing, so 20 hours a week. Oh my gosh, this capper is going to be here forever. And I'm basically an administrative assistant, so it's really nice because I don't have to worry too much about like really messing up. I mean, obviously I can't like get people's payrolls wrong, or, you know, like certain things are like I have to very much make sure that I do it correctly, but a lot of it too is just like making sure that data is compiled properly, and there's a lack of stress in that, where it's not like me directly working with clients or me directly working with, you know, people that are going through something. So I can definitely like be in that back end kind of role, and it's actually really nice to be in that position too, because I don't hold a lot of power, and it's kind of nice to not be the one that has to like make the decisions or this, that, or the other thing. So my job is going really well. It's just that mixed with doing the stuff that I'm doing at the Grief Center, and then trying to work out and trying to maintain Wax and Wane, it's been tough. So I haven't got a lot of time for myself to make a lot of things. But one exciting thing that did happen this weekend is for Wax and Wane, went to Renegade Craft Fair up in New York City. So my battery crapped out a little bit, so I had to plug it back in. I changed my pants in the process because I started laundry. But yeah, basically I was talking about Renegade, and this weekend we went up to, well, it was Renegade Craft Fair Brooklyn, but it was actually in downtown Manhattan. So I actually drove in downtown Manhattan, well, midtown Manhattan. It was pretty scary. It was more concerning was the the parking, but luckily both days that we were there, I actually found parking pretty easily, which was really great. So that was really exciting. We did really well, and it was so exciting because there were 4 people that actually came up to our booth and said, "Oh, I know, I've heard of you." So well before we even got into the market of Brooklyn, Manhattan, New York, whatever, there are people that have already like found us in some way, and it could be because of Renegade posting about us, or, you know, just them finding us another way. But it was great to have at least 4 people that knew of us before we actually like had introduced ourselves to them. So that was really cool. And yeah, so let me show you the things that I actually have been working on. There's just 2, but they're pretty exciting, and I am looking forward to finishing one of them maybe tonight, because it's been really easy. So let me just show you this one first. Okay, yeah, we can make this work. Go on. So I got this Galloway. Let me see. This really nice, like, come on, you got it. There you go. This Galloway yarn, or Yeah, Galloway. And it's this nice, like, thick roving. It's in this beautiful bright orange. I have been needing a pair of, I call them transitional gloves. Basically, they're the arm warmers. I've been needing those for a while because it's starting to get cold. Actually, it's like really warm today, so I don't even need them today, but I need them for eventually. So I've crocheted up one with the big like Q or P. I always forget what the actual letter is on it, but that like the huge crochet hook. I feel like everyone that has one of those big ones, they always have like the blue one. And I did a little linen stitch, and I just did it up really quickly. And it's really great because it took me maybe 2 hours to get this done. And, you know, I have to sew on the edge. I think one of them is already like crocheted into the piece, so I just have to cut it. But here's one, and then I'll make the other one actually with the rest of this ball, because it took like no yarn at all, which is really great. And that one is literally just a pattern that I made up for myself. It's linen stitch. I think I cast on 10 to fit my hand size and my arm size. So this is 10 cast on. And then if you just do a basic linen stitch, I don't know, 12 different rows. The only time that I did something different was for the thumb, which is just a bigger hole basically. Because basically my thumb could fit through like any of these little holes in here. But I went like up 6, I think. I crocheted up 6 rows. And then I just basically went back and forth to make that little opening. And then I closed back off the circle at the top. I hope that all made sense, because I will never make this into a pattern. There's no need for it. But yeah, I'm super excited about that, and I want the other one quickly. And now a bow is on my bag of goods. Stop. So the other piece, I actually finished one and I'm working on the other one, is the yoga sock for my, well, she already knows, it's for my sister, for the holidays. This was a pattern, I think it was a free pattern on Ravelry. And it's super easy because you don't have to do any toes or any heels. So my kind of sock, just so I could like learn about construction, you do have to do a bunch of increases throughout, but it's just knit in front, knit in back. So it's not a terribly complicated increase. It's like every 7 rows or something when you actually get to the leg part. And these are nice because they kind of scrunch up when they're actually on the body. So I have a picture of them actually on me on my Instagram, which is @AshtonJPage. I'll leave a link below. But yeah, I have a picture of them up there, so if you want to see what they look like, that's up there. And then I have started on the other one. So the interesting part about this construction is that it's not actually done in the round. And I can't remember if I explained these in my last video or not. I'll have to rewatch it. Well, it doesn't really matter at this point because I'm telling you now. The construction is not in the round, even though I'm using circular needles, and it will eventually become something in the round. Instead, it's a back and forth method, and then you actually sew it in together at the end, which I'm not opposed to, but I kind of wish it would have been in the round. I just didn't know when it came to like the heel how I could have done that in the round. I guess I could have bound off, and I just don't want to go through that kind of effort to like not. I'm using a pattern for a reason, right? But this is, let's see, using that fingering weight yarn. Let me take this off because it's a little too bright for these socks. Fingering weight yarn and some colorway I can't ever remember, from Karita's shop, the neighborhood fiber company. one of the mini balls of fingering weight yarn that I have that I don't want anymore. It's in this beautiful light green variegated, and then it's this cotton, this cream ecru beige cotton, whatever you want to call it, from Wool and the Gang, which I had originally bought for a very different project that never came to fruition. So that's this, and they're put up together, so it'll be interesting. They have like a nice softness and like a nice stretchiness, but there's like a nice bit of color in there from the wool. And that's really the only other project that I had. Those are the two projects that I have. And they went by really quickly. I can show you this little, oh my gosh. I'll have to do one of those what's in my bag. Eee. Oh boy. I'll have to do one of those what's in my bag videos just to like show off what kind of crap I have in here. But I did want to show this, and I haven't done a large enough, maybe I can't show this off because it's so twisted up. But let me get a little closer to the camera. Hey. This is a ball of yarn. Come on. It will go eventually. Oh, no, it won't. It's not big enough. Huh. I'm probably gonna edit this out of the final video. Yeah. Not even focusing at all. Basically, it's some yarn that I dyed up myself. I wish that I actually had the Nitty Noddy here with me, but I don't, or the Umbrella Swift that actually has this yarn on it. It is dyed in Quebracho Roja and over-dyed in indigo. So that was one of our lines at Wax and Wane, it's called Quebracho Rose. Beautiful combination of two very beautiful colors together. But I'm just knitting up this little swatch just to see how the colors actually play with each other. It's kind of gray, but it's like a nice purpley, dusty gray. So I'm excited to do some more yarn. We just tried out some henna on fabric, which actually, I mean, it's not this bright, but no doubt it's very close to this, which is really exciting that we can get such brightness from plant dyes. So I will have some more of that. It's actually some yarn that actually Neighborhood Fiber Company gave me. Because I was in there one day and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so into mohair right now. And it's this multi-mohair. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's almost like a web of mohair. And it's these like cords almost, and that's like you knit. It's really chunky. So you could treat it like a really thick like roving, but it's not completely solid like this. So I'll have that to explain eventually. But it turned out really beautiful, and I'm really excited to see what else I can do with this henna. It's been like a real desire of mine to really investigate that specific natural dye for quite some time. So yeah, that's what I have for today. I'm gonna go and crochet these up while I wait for my laundry to finish. And maybe upload this video. Probably not. It takes so long always. But yeah, please find me on Instagram. It's at AshtonJPage. Like me, talk to me, ask me questions. As always, if you have any patterns, crochet or knit-wise, that you think I should look into, there's a Technicolor Dreamcoat inspired something, share it with me. I would love to see what you all are working on, and as always, have a wonderful day, and I will see you maybe next week, maybe in a few more weeks, I don't know, we'll see. Alright, bye.